Good morning, punters. PB here from Racecourse Capital, and look what I've got. G'day, Ty. How are you?
I'm great. How you going, mate?
Oh, fantastic. Look at us step up with a microphone this morning. Feel like we're getting more and more professional as we go along, mate. Hey, how good's this? We are getting there. Mate. How's the week been?
Mate, it's been a little busier, to be honest, and I think it's strange because, with my other job, this is not the main job, obviously, but you would think that it would quieten off around Christmas time, but it seems to be actually ramping up, so that's interesting.
Very interesting. Happens everywhere at the moment. I think it'll die next week, but that's all good as we get closer to Christmas. Yep. You've been a good boy, mate? You on the good boy list or the naughty boy list?
I might get a lump of coal. I'm a bit of a Grinch when it comes to Christmas. I don't do too much. What about you?
Yeah, you are, but humbug. Look, I think I've been on the naughty list, but I'm working hard to get back on the nice list, and looking forward to a few days off. That is for sure. Yeah. Mate, I don't know about you, but that storm scared the absolute shit out of me last night. Coming across Queensland and the Gold Coast was pretty loud.
Yeah, I was had a few moments here where I thought the computer was going to blow up. It was coming across, so you might have got hit a little harder than us, but it sort of went around us a little bit, so we were lucky.
Certainly dumped quite a lot of precipitation all over the ground yesterday, mate. I'm so happy we washed all the cars in the yard for it to be rinsed with rainwater again last night, so it was good.
Beautiful.
But anyway, that's enough of that passive-aggressive sarcasm that seems to roll out of my mouth quite often. So, due to my fault, we're doing bets and breakfast. We're not doing bets and beers or beers and bets. So we're going to crack into it. It was a good program last night across Canterbury and Moonee Valley.
It was.
Find some winners, did you, mate?
We did. Some good price ones too. I mean, obviously there's always going to be Moonee Valley's always going to be a tougher one because it's valley. It's like how leaderish is it going to be, sort of thing. But we found a couple of good winners there at really nice odds that went into double figures. And there were some other double figure odds winners. There was one at Canterbury, and there was some other good value winners there, and there was some good value wins at Geelong during the day as well. So if you followed along with the free tips, you would have had a large volume of tips to choose from. You would have found some value for sure.
Large volume. Interesting they had Cranbourne on last night at the same time.
Yeah, they're really pumping out the Fridays at the moment. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think it's really good. Hopefully we can add the Gold Coast to that volume in the future with our live company.
May 2024. All right, well, we've got a big program to talk about today. We should crack into it. I see you've already got Eagle Farm up on the page, so I guess that's where we're starting. Is that where we're starting?
Must be.
Should today be called Tony Gollan Race Day or what?
Mate, I was just saying before, like he has just launched everything in time for summer, in for the Magic Millions. He's going to look to clean up at the Millions Day. Surely he wins one or two of the big races, you'd imagine, wouldn't you?
Well, you'd hope so. He's got some fantastic runners in there today. So we've got 10 races at Eagle Farm today. We're going to kick off with race number 1. I think the soft 5 is a little generous with the amount of rain that came over last night. Hopefully there won't be any more today, and it just might firm up a touch, but I think it's going to be a little soft underfoot, a little mushy. We're looking at races 1 and 2 for you guys today, and I guess I'll kick off because I'm holding the microphone. My tip is Liquor all the way. It's a very, very, very good horse, plenty of class. Plenty of ability. A little bit disappointing last start, but the time before that was very good. Gets a nice draw, gets 2 kilos off, so we're running around at 58.5 weight, and I think it's going to be too good in the first. Got a joke for you though, mate. What do you call 2 lesbians in a closet?
2 lesbians in a closet.
A liquor cabinet. So just getting the old PC stuff out early in the morning, mate. It's good, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Where are you off to, mate? I just thought it was a nice little segue with my tip liquor cabinet.
Very good. Well planned.
Thank you.
Well planned.
Ad lib, but that's how we do it here. Where are you off to?
All right, I'll just grab that one. Yeah.
Please.
Righto. So interesting race, this one. I end up going with Amity Gal on top. I'm sure you looked at this one. For the Van Dyke yard, a little 1.5 kilo claim getting into 59. This horse loves a distance, 3 from 5 at the distance, 1 from 3 at the track end distance. First up, 2 from 3. Like soft tracks. There's a lot to like about this horse, Draws Gate 2. I think it will run a big race, has to beat Paul's Pick, of course, which is going to be very, very hard to beat. But I thought at $5, I thought this was a decent play. One that I want to follow. I don't want to jump off this horse, and I don't think it likes soft ground that much. It prefers good ground, is Rusheen. Tipped it at Ipswich first up and ran an absolute bottler at big odds. And it ran it was quite a slick race. If you go have a look at that race, the runners in that race were quite good. There were good sprinters there. At $13 with a 3 kilo claim today, like I said, I think it needs to be a little bit drier. So if we sort of hang on to the weather we've got now, it might get into a good 4. Otherwise, it'll be sort of in between a good 4 and a soft 5, and it should be able to handle that. I just don't think it'll handle anything worse than what it is now. But at $13, I thought that was a really nice play. If you like roughies, and I like roughies, I went for Never Say Nay at $23. You wanted to have a little nibble at that one outside of the main plays. Good soft track record. So it really likes the soft ground. It has very similar form lines to the runners I just sort of talked about, especially Amity Gale. If you look through some races, has to carry 61.5, so there's that as well. But it is only 1,000 metres, so I'm not too concerned. Gets Ryan Maloney on, which is a big plus. Wide gate to contend with, which is a negative. But I think this horse, what does it tie into? It tied into Nashira. If you go look at Nashira's form since that race, Nashira's run around some very, very, very nice horses in Brisbane. So I think it has the class, but it does have to contend with a wide gate. But it gets a very good jockey on to do that as well. So there's the plays.
It's a shit ton of detail there, mate. Well done for the first.
Bit there. All right, we're going to go to race 2. Over to you.
Race number 2. Oh. True, bro. I'm going to stick with another Golan runner in Madame Odette in race number 2, currently $3.40. It's better than what it's been running. It's run 2/3 this campaign, and I think it's now ready to win and give it a good sight. It's got Ben Thompson on the back, which I'm really happy with. Draws Gate 2, which I'm also happy with. Doesn't quite like the soft form as much as it likes the good, but I think today's the day that it could do something pretty special. So looking forward to seeing Madame Odette run in race number 2.
Beautiful.
No jokes to go with that one.
Righto, so I'm actually going with the stablemate. Princess Rainiers. Ryan Maloney on for the Golan Yard. Comes off a 3rd placing on soft ground. It likes the soft ground, so that's no issue there. I just like it. I think it's getting out to a better distance for it. Last preparation, if I look at the notes, so it ran around some group class mares last preparation. You get the likes of Foxy Frida and Kiku, which are very, very good horses. I'd expect her to be sort of, she's now 3rd up. She's got a great 3rd up record. I'd expect her to be very near to her peak, if not at her peak today. So I'm sure she's probably not at her peak, but she'd be getting very close. I'm sure he's probably peaking her for a big run coming up very soon, I'd imagine. But I think she'll be very, very close to being at peak. I'm not sure how the track's going to play. Do you have any sort of guidance on that one, mate?
No, I think it's going to run pretty fairly. It's been a very good track to allow everyone to come in. You can get some, thanks mate, you can get some runners off the rail. You can also get some runners coming late and finding the middle of the track. So Eagle Farm's good, mate. It plays fairly fair.
All right, well that's good news, especially for the Princess, because I think she likes to run on, doesn't she? So, and your runner likes to get midfield, gate 2. No, Madame Odette should get a pretty good run. So there you go. We've gone with the stablemates.
Absolutely.
In race 2.
A couple of other good horses there that are just starting their prep too. You know, Carbonetti's not no slouch, but it's obviously getting it's getting set. I think for something a little bit deeper down the track. So Oh, for sure. So yeah, I think this is going to be a great day at Eagle Farm. Massive program, great races, great like a full card of awesome races. So very excited. All right, Chief, where are we to next?
Where to? Do you want to go to the west?
Sure.
All right, let's go to the west.
It's like he has all week to choose which format he wants to do it in, and he's still unsure. All right, we're going back to Ascot, and we've got 9 races out at Ascot. What's the track conditions there, sir?
Where are they?
Don't know that it's been put up yet. They're expecting some rain over there, so it could be.
We don't know.
Yeah, it could be a little wet. Could be soft to possible heavy, but we will see how it goes. We'll hopefully find some winners off that. I looked at a couple in here, but interestingly enough, I've gone something at double figures with Mr. Parnham on the back in Crunchy Nut.
Oh.
Also one of my favourite
I was going to
cereals.
say, you like a bit of cornflakes?
I do, mate. I do. There's a lovely box of Crunchy Nut, full of sugar. No good for you, but it's bloody tasty. It's stepping up, and we'll find this one a little bit stepped up in grade. But if you look at the last 2 back-to-back wins, it was good. I was really sort of happy with that, happy with the way that it ran. It does need a firm track, so I'm a little concerned about the weather on that, but I just don't know. Like, it's had 2 runs on 2 good tracks and one, but it would be interesting to see. So I don't know. I looked at it, and I just think there's a little bit of each way value in that. But I think a very strong danger in that race is going to be Storm Chaser. I think the guy that's going to be looking to chase the weather is the Storm Chaser. So that's my tip.
Very nice. All right, so this was an interesting race, wasn't it? I went with Wear a Shoe. Wear a Shoe? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Wear a shoe. Wear a shoe? Like as in wear a shoe? At $10 from gate 4, I think this horse... I think the key with this horse is back to 1,400 metres. They took it out to the mile in a very, very strong race won by Zip Away, and it didn't handle the mile. I don't know what the weather's going to do, so it's got a 3rd placing on a heavy, so maybe it will handle the soft ground, but we'll find out. But from gate 4 at $10, I thought the form lines tie in very, very closely to Blue Lagoon, who is a big chance in this race. And I thought the discrepancy in price was a bit silly. But it just depends on how the track is playing as well, because I believe it gets back. Yeah, so from gate 4, I'm hoping it doesn't go all the way to the back. I'm hoping it can sit, a couple of pairs closer than normal. Would be great. But I think back to 1,400 metres, I think is a big plus for this horse, who has raced well at the track before. So there's no issues there. $10, yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Well, kick on to race number 2. Race number 2 at Ascot today. We look, for me, there was only one that really stood out, and we have been on this horse in the past. It has resumed last start with a win. It's going to probably continue on today. I'm fairly confident that it will continue on today. That's EPC. Jaws a little wide, but I think that will overcome that nice and easy. And with the way that it ran last start, if it just reproduces, it's going to be very tough to beat. Currently $3.90, so
Not bad, yeah.
no, very tasty.
All right. Obviously, that one is going to be very hard to beat. I think EPC and San Fabrizio will be very, very hard to beat. I'm sticking with Thorogood.
You do like it, don't you?
I think the race that it comes out of, the race behind Young Alas, who we know is a really nice horse, I think that form line is going to hold up pretty well. It's got a win on the soft, but it's also tried 7 times, so not sure it sits favourite sort of ground. I prefer the good ground, but I think the form line will go a long way, and I thought $7.50 was a pretty good price for Thorogood.
Very good. He's a good horse.
Yeah, I think it's just on the cusp of something of a win. So the other one at double figures is Elite Fighter. Elite Fighter seems to be building towards this distance. 3 from 6 on the soft ground, so it should be fine there. If you go watch its last run, it was powering home and gets the man Damien Lane on today. So if the track's playing fair enough, I think this horse will be powering home late at $11. I thought that was pretty good odds. It just seems to be like it's going from 1,200 out to 15. So I think this distance is right for it now. So we've got Elite Fighter and Thorogood.
Very good. Very good. That wraps up the free ones coming out of the West. And always a good program out there at Ascot. Lovely track too. Where are we going to next, my man?
Gawler.
All right, we're going to go to Gawler. Gawler, stepping away from Morphettville today. 9 races out at Gawler. Do you know where Gawler is, mate?
No idea, mate. No idea.
Yeah, me either. It's somewhere in Adelaide. Nice track from what I've seen on TV. All right, so race number 8 is where we're looking at, and no, don't need anything. So just want to make sure that my choice was still there. It's still coming in there. It's had a trifecta of second places, and today it needs to push forward and go. Just get the win done a little bit wide in the barrier, but I think Press Down is ready to win today. I think it's got to win today. Having 3 seconds, it's certainly been thereabouts. Shows that the campaign prior to that was also pretty good. Weight gets a good weights and gets my guy that I took the piss out of last time. Thought he was Callum, but it's actually Callum Murray, but not Callum Murray, but that's okay. Which he's a great jockey, and I think he's well positioned to bring this one home.
Very nice. So I went with there was 2 that I couldn't split. They were very, very close in their form lines if you go through their history. Jacks on Ice and Celsius Star. Celsius Star at $6, Jacks on Ice at $7. Both a really good value.
All related to temperature, mate, really.
True. I didn't even put that together. There you go.
Switched on a Saturday morning.
You are. I need my 3rd coffee. I'm fucking cooked. Celsius Star gets a really nice 3 kilo claim. That was the big thing for me. I think 3 kilo claim getting into 58, coming out of some very strong races behind your favourite horse, Validated. I think that's pretty strong form. It did. Was it because it was too soft? Yeah. It's got a great soft track record, Celsius Star. So if it does stay in that soft range, it's probably going to be better for it. So I don't see any challenges there. It gets gate 5, should get a lovely run. Jacks on Ice at $7. I thought the recent trial win was very, very impressive. Go and watch that if you need a push for this horse. I think this horse is progressing nicely. I think if you go back and through its last preparation, it was just getting better and better and better as the preparation went on. I think it put like 4 wins together in its last prep. Very nice horse. Gate 4, 2 kilo claim, which is really, really nice. It could be ready just to keep winning, this horse. At $7, I thought that was a great price. In a very open race. So there the plays. If I haven't got a roughie in there, nope.
No roughie.
On to the next.
Roll on to race number 9 then, young man, if you can. Look at you go. Handing the mic and handling the mouse. Multi-talented, our boy Ty. I thought this was a good little tipping race, to be honest. I think there's about 4 or 5 that can have a stab at the wickets. But I'm looking... Yeah, all right, I'm confident enough to stick with my tip here. Yeah, Bolt By coming out of barrier number 3. Really, really impressive 3rd place run last time out. I thought that was good. Gets a 3 kilo claim. Everyone loves dropping a bit of weight. Yeah, mate. No, look, I'm working on 2026, mate, for the summer body. I know, mate. I've just got to change my fluid intake from amber liquid to perhaps something with a few more electrolytes or something else. I think Bolt By is a very good chance to put its nose in front and win today. Find it tough. It's not going to do it easy, considering the company that it's running in. But I think it'll be thereabouts. Very, very close. 550.
I agree. That's one of my main plays. Bolt by. I think it's you hit the nail on the head with the 3 kilo claim. I think it's we finally got there, and that's coming out of what looks like a nice race as well.
Yeah.
Some good horses in that race. Surprise is coming in at $5.50, not a little shorter. So it still seems to be over the odds. I'd suspect they'll probably find that one late. Bolt by. The other one that I like is Bonnie Gangster. Bonnie Gangster.
Yeah, I like that one too, to be honest.
Yeah, coming off a nice fourth placing behind Chartreuse, who was actually in the previous race that we did, which was a big chance in that previous race as well. It's been in good form. So I think form behind Chartreuse is good enough to be competitive in this race, getting in with 58 kilos. It has one on the soft. It's got a second placing on the heavy. Sort of, you don't really know. But it might go to a good track. If it does, I think this horse will probably appreciate it. I think 1,500 metres is good for this horse now. If you go and watch its last race, it was sort of making up some ground. So $7, I thought Bonnie Gangster was a good value play as well with Bolt by. I got a roughie for you in this one if you want it.
Please, mate. Please.
One that is definitely overs based on the run a couple back is Yabba Dabba Doo. You a Flintstones fan or?
Yes, I am.
Everyone's a Flintstones fan. 3 kilo claim for this one, so it gets into 56.5. It's at $21. The run two back is the one that I want to pay attention to. I was only 2.7 off the winner there and a 68. If you go through, I can't remember the name of the horse it's tying into, but wish I knew the name of the horse now. But there's a horse in there ties into who has gone on to win twice since. So there is some good subsequent form coming out of that race, and I think back in distance they've pushed this horse out to 1,800 meters, and I don't think it enjoys that. I think it needs to be back. It could even appreciate back into 1,400. But I think back in distance is a big positive for this horse, where it ran at the mile in that good race two back. So it's come in at really good odds at $21 with that 3 kilo claim. Yabba Dabba Doo could be the one to blow it out.
Love it.
There you go.
Absolutely love it. Yabba Dabba Doo. Were you a Fred or a Barney fan, mate?
Barney.
Or was you like bam, 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 bam?
Used to be called Bam Bam when I was a kid.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know where that came from. I know
It's probably because
shit. Probably just broke shit.
you probably beat people up, mate. That's all good. All right, that's Gawler done. 9 races out there. That's all good. No, your heart's too kind, mate, to punch on. All right, where are we off to next? We've got 2 big tracks to look at before we close the program this morning. I love Caulfield. I could live there, eh? I could just move in. So you've given us races 1 and 2 at Caulfield today.
Yep.
On a lovely 10 race program as well down there. I don't know what it is. I just love Caulfield. Race number 1, there is only one to look at, and that's Little Stirrer, mate. Honestly, it's a class above the rest, and I think it's, it's just too good. I think it's just going to be too good. It's going to have to work really hard against Traffic Warden, but I think Little Stirrer's can do it at 450. Where are you, mate?
I found it very hard to split between your pick. I ended up going with Express Yourself.
You didn't take the $1.75 and Traffic Warden, mate?
Nah, I couldn't.
Jamie Carr on the back?
I couldn't wrap my head around that. That is
tough.
that is for a 2-year-old race where basically, let's be honest, it's a fucking lottery and you have no idea. Lately it's sort of been the trend has sort of been go for the ones with a run, but who really knows? Like one of these could come out at fucking huge odds and win. So, your pick was Little Stirrer was really impressive in the jump outs, but I went with the one with the run under the belt, the third placing behind a very nice horse in an Anisa. I think.
Did you see that they're what are they doing with the knees? Are they on the Blue Diamond? They're focusing on the Blue Diamond rather than the spit it out, Paul. Magic Millions stuff. I think they're delaying
Very interesting. Well, that's I mean, it's Group One, isn't it? So that makes sense. They obviously, she's obviously got a heap of ability, so they want to get that Group One on the board, I guess. And she's definitely got some ability to do it. But yeah, I think the form around Anisa is going to stack up well. It sort of has sort of stacked up the time before that. She ran a runner-up, I think, and then that form stacked up, and then been another horse come out of that race and won well. So the form around her seems to be really, really good. So I thought Express Yourself at $8.50. John McNeil on from gate 3 should be able to get a nice run from gate 3. And just looking at the experience as a possible positive for this horse at nice odds. There you go.
There you go. All right, happy days. I don't know about you, mate, but has the temperature just stepped up a little bit, mate?
Yes.
Oh, the old snail trail starting to form in the back there, mate. Yeah, mate. It's going to be one of those days of just hotness, mate. It's hotness everywhere at work. It's going to be great fun. All right, race number 2. Race number 2, I found a little bit tougher to tip. Just, but I went with something that's going to be extremely light. Grand Piero is my pick at $4.40. Wasn't devastatingly good in the last run. It was better the run before that, and then got a win on the board prior to that. But it's going to be in at like 51.5 kilos by the time it crosses the line.
Yep, very light.
That's like you'd barely feel the jockey on the back. Yeah. So there's got to be a reason why they've done that. It's happy with the good track. It's going to be very light in the weights. It draws barrier 1. And Will Price for an apprentice is not bad. So I think there's every chance there if it just sort of sits where it needs to sit, just transits well in midfield, and then just steps out, finds the middle.
I'm glad you tipped on because I found it very hard to split your pick, and I actually went with the old boy in Regal Power.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought Regal Power, the class horse of the race, obviously some of the races he's been racing in are extremely good. Comes off a run on a heavy track, which is just not his go. Before that, he was 4th behind Muramasa and Ladies Man. That's pretty good form for this. The 2 kilo claim from Gaudray into 58 kilos was another plus because he's going to need as much help as he can get with your pick who's down at nothing. I think 2,400 meters is well, he's got a very close second to Born a King at 2,400 meters, carrying 60 kilos, and was giving 6 kilos to Born a King that day at Mornington. So I think even with the 58, I think he can run a big race here, and should enjoy the drier track. Will push forward and sort of give himself every chance. It's just whether or not he's good enough with that heavier weight. But I think he's got the class. I think the races that he's been racing in have really stacked up well, like 1.7 behind Cleveland, and they got Power and Declare. Yeah.
2,400, so
yeah.
He'll be right. He doesn't mind the distance. So.
I think they can break through with a win. $5. I thought that was pretty good value.
Tasty, mate. Very tasty.
All right,
rock and roll to our last track that we are covering today, looking at Randwick coming out of Sydney.
Is that it? 2.
Don't stare too hard, but that's a good 4 at Randwick today. Which it's been a while since we've seen some good tracks up there due to all the rain. We're looking at races number 2 and 7 on a 10 race program. Race number 2, interesting race this. We've had a couple of scratchings, so it's a bit of a smallish field. For those betting at home, it was probably only going to go to, I doubt there'll be a third dividend. But I'm on the Vegas Outlaw. Vegas Outlaw is what I'm on. It's just coming off back-to-back-to-back wins. Gets barrier number 7. Trainer's good. Weight's good. I think just the 60 kilo mark is good for this horse. And there's nothing but positives for Vegas Outlaw to be running well today.
Very nice. Yes, I think your pick will be the hardest to beat.
It is a step up for it today, though.
Yeah, I mean 3 wins in a row. There's not many horses that can do that.
No,
so
but the grade steps up, so it's up
yeah.
against a tougher company, it'll be a great test.
So it beat Socrates by 1.3 lengths, and Socrates was carrying more weight there. Socrates gets a weight swing down into 57.5. I thought that was a good play at $9. That's one of them, Socrates at $9, and I think Awesome Lad will punch out to the front with Tim Clark on. Whenever he gets on a leader, it's going to do better than what it would normally do because he's just so good at rating them in front. $8.50 for Awesome Lad. I think he can run a big race here as long as there's not too much pressure, which I don't think there's heaps of pressure in this race, is there?
No.
And that was sort of what pushed me into it. I thought if he gets an easy enough lead, then he can possibly hold out Vegas Outlaw, but Vegas Outlaw was in very, very good form. But I thought that at the odds, Awesome Lad at $8.50 and Socrates with the weight swing at $9. I thought there's a couple that you can have a good play at big odds. So there you go.
Beautiful. Very good.
What was our next one? What were we off to? Race 7? 7.
Race number 7. And this is a great race, and it's got some old boys in there too. I looked quite heavily at Stockman, based off coming off a last start win. But I just don't know. I just don't know if it's got the right jockey on the back to steer it to where it needs to go. That's what put me off. But I went with our boy Nash on Kerwin's Lane. Another class horse at $4.50. I just think it's got every bloody chance of getting this job done nice and easy today. Not much else I really need to say about that. If you know Kerwin's Lane, you know what I'm talking about.
All right, I've just realised my one of my main plays has been scratched in Lekvart. I thought I had a great chance today, but that's all right. Glory Days is another play at $7.50. I think this horse can run a big race. Recent trial was promising. I think it's a horse that it won second up at 1,700 metres. I think it's a horse that can run well fresh. If you go look at that trial, you'll sort of think, well, yeah, it can run a race here. Gate 5, Rachel King on, Mara Eustace, 53.5 kilos. There's a lot to like about this horse at the current odds. To give you a blowout, I think Substantial comes in over the odds here at $20. Tyler Schiller on for the Snowden camp. I don't know why this thing's come in at $20. I mean, it hasn't run that well lately, but I think it's got some real ability on its day. If you go back through its form, it's run around some horses that would tie into most of these. So I thought Substantial at $20 was a really nice roughie in this race. And obviously you've got horses like Kerwin's Lane. They're proven at a higher level. Yeah. That's why he's carrying the 61 kilos because he's done it at the higher level. So very tough race, open race. It was quite tough to make a decision. But I thought Glory Days at $7.50 and the roughie and Substantial were okay place.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Awesome tips. Awesome picks there for the day. Lots of value, lots of opportunities. But as we always say here at Racecourse Capital, just make sure you gamble within your means, be responsible, enjoy the day. We're going to enjoy the day. Well, I'm going to go to work for a bit. You're going to...
Might train this afternoon, I don't know.
Look at you go. Look at you go. But yes, we'll have one eye firmly placed on the races today because there's lots of good opportunity around to get a couple of winners. Stay tuned for next week. Didn't see a reel this week, Ty. Did we not do anything from last week?
We had a few winners. We only had 3 winners, I think. Last week was a fucking...
Yeah, it was hard.
The weather was fucked.
Oh, the weather killed everyone.
To just a swamp. And so did was it we at Morph?
Yeah.
That did the same. It went to a heavy as well. So it's last week was a bit of a write-off, but we've managed to find 3. They were shorter odds, so I think that was okay considering. But yeah, we'll do better this week. I'm
sure we will. Any last wise words of wisdom?
Pray to the weather gods because we don't want a repeat of last week. We just don't.
Yeah, no rain. Rain tomorrow, not today.
That's it.
No worries. Members, tips will be up in your inbox very, very shortly. For the rest of you, I hope you have a wonderful day. Catch you next week on Beers and Bets.